Sophia Carter, the daughter of a wealthy businessman, lived a life of comfort behind the gates of her father's mansion. Everything in her world was planned and controlled until she met Jake Rivera, a biker gang member with a rough past. Their meeting was unexpected, and their connection even more surprising. To her father, Jake was the worst choice she could ever make. Before we dive in, show some love with a like and drop a comment. It really helps us bring you more powerful stories like this one. Alright, let's jump right in. But Sophia saw something different: honesty, strength, and a man who refused to give up. What followed was a chain of events no one could have imagined, leaving both families stunned forever. But behind the gates of their huge mansion, Sophia felt trapped. She longed for something real, something that wasn't planned out by her father or his team of assistants. Then one day, everything changed. Sophia was walking near the edge of her family's property when she saw him. Jake Rivera was fixing his motorcycle by the side of the road. He looked nothing like the polished men Sophia usually met. His arms were covered in tattoos, his clothes were worn, and his face had a roughness that spoke of a hard life. But when their eyes met, Sophia felt a spark she'd never experienced before. Jake was surprised to see someone like Sophia in this part of town. He figured she was lost and offered to help. But Sophia wasn't lost. She was curious. They started talking, and hours passed without either of them noticing. Jake told her about his life in the biker gang, the only family he'd ever known. Sophia shared her frustrations with her controlled life. They were from completely different worlds, but somehow they understood each other. Word spread quickly in Sophia's social circle about her new friend. Her rich friends were shocked. How could Sophia, the perfect daughter of Richard Carter, be seen with someone like Jake? The gossip was everywhere, but Sophia didn't care. For the first time in her life, she felt truly alive. Richard Carter was furious when he found out. He had spent years building his reputation and fortune. Now his daughter was threatening to ruin it all by hanging out with a criminal. He tried to reason with Sophia. Then he threatened to cut her off. But nothing worked. Sophia saw something in Jake that her father couldn't: a good heart and the strength to overcome a tough past. Jake's world was just as shaken up. His biker brothers couldn't believe he was spending time with a rich princess. They warned him that she was probably just slumming it for fun and would dump him when she got bored. But Jake saw past Sophia's fancy clothes and perfect manners. He saw a girl who was kind, brave, and longing to break free. As Sophia and Jake spent more time together, they faced challenges from all sides. Richard Carter used all his connections to try and scare Jake away. He even had the police harass Jake's gang, hoping to drive a wedge between them. Jake's gang members pressured him to cut ties with Sophia, worried she would change him or worse, betray them to the cops. But Sophia and Jake's bond only grew stronger. Jake showed Sophia a world beyond her father's control, one where people looked out for each other not because of money, but because of loyalty. Sophia helped Jake see that he could dream of a better future without betraying his past. Their relationship was put to the ultimate test when Jake's gang got into serious trouble. A rival gang was moving in on their territory, and things were getting violent. Jake knew he had to stand by his brothers, even if it meant risking everything. Sophia was scared for Jake, but she understood his loyalty. She offered to use her father's money to help, but Jake refused. He had to handle this his way. The night of the big showdown, Sophia couldn't sleep. She kept imagining the worst. What happened next shocked everyone. As the two gangs faced off, ready for a bloody fight, Jake stepped forward. He offered himself as a sacrifice. If the rival gang would leave his brothers alone, they could do whatever they wanted to him. It was a move of incredible bravery and selflessness. By chance, Richard Carter was driving by when he saw the standoff. He recognized Jake and stopped to watch, expecting to see proof that the biker was nothing but trouble. Instead, he witnessed an act of courage that left him speechless. The rival gang was so impressed by Jake's offer that they backed down. They said any man willing to die for his brothers deserved respect. The violence was avoided, and Jake became a hero to his gang. Richard Carter couldn't ignore what he'd seen. He realized he had been wrong about Jake. This man his daughter loved wasn't a low-life criminal. He was someone of true character and bravery. It made Richard question everything he thought he knew about what made a person worthy. In the days that followed, Richard shocked everyone by inviting Jake to dinner at the mansion. It wasn't an easy meal. Jake felt out of place among the fancy decorations, and Richard struggled to connect with someone so different from himself. But they both tried, for Sophia's sake. Slowly, things began to change. Richard saw how happy Jake made Sophia, and how she had grown more confident and independent. Jake, with Sophia's encouragement, started taking classes at the local community college. He discovered he had a talent for mechanics and started dreaming of opening his own shop someday. The biker gang was suspicious at first, thinking Jake might leave them behind. But Jake made it clear that while his life was changing, his loyalty to them would never waver. In fact, he started bringing some of the younger members around to the community college, showing them there were other options in life. Sophia's rich friends were the slowest to come around. Many of them couldn't understand what she saw in Jake, but as they got to know him, even they had to admit there was something special about the way he treated Sophia and how he faced life's challenges. Years passed, and the unlikely couple faced many more obstacles. There were still people who didn't approve, and times when their different backgrounds caused misunderstandings. But Sophia and Jake faced it all together, growing stronger with each challenge. Richard Carter learned valuable lessons from watching his daughter and Jake. He started using his wealth and influence to help disadvantaged youth, inspired by Jake's story of overcoming a tough start in life. The biker gang, with Jake's guidance, began to change too. They still rode together, but many members also pursued education and legal business ventures. Sophia and Jake's love story became legendary in their town. People pointed to them as proof that true connection can overcome any barrier of class or background. They showed that judging someone based on appearances or past mistakes means missing out on the amazing person they might be inside. In the end, a chance meeting between two people from completely different worlds led to changes no one could have predicted. Lives were transformed, prejudices were challenged, and love proved to be the most powerful force of all. Sophia and Jake's story reminds us all that sometimes the most unlikely connections can lead to the most beautiful outcomes. If this story moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share it with someone who needs hope today, and of course subscribe so you never miss another powerful story. And hey, tap the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next one drops. We've got more inspiring stories waiting for you in our playlist. Dive in, get inspired, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for being here.